Have you ever been sitting at the front of your bonsai and you are thinking that maybe your tree required wiring, but you were afraid to approach it? You didn't know what to do? I was in this kind of situation many times when I was starting with my trees and I was learning how to do that, how to style them properly. I will tell you that for me personally, the difference between wiring and not wiring the tree is the result which I would like to achieve with my trees. Without the wiring process, I'm not able to make artistically the trees which I would like to have, and that's why I have to do that. Maybe I will tell you how I'm approaching this process, and it will help you next time when you will face the same dilemma as I was facing many years ago. I learned myself to approach the wiring process itself and overcome the fear of doing something bad to the tree or do something irreversible. Maybe next time when you will try to do it the similar way, it will help you. Why I'm wiring the tree? Because with using clip and growth method, I will show it to you on this forest, which you may have a chance to see several times in my videos. The list of the videos where I was talking about this forest composed 2 years ago is in description. In the last week, I did some changes and I did some wiring, especially at the top sections of this particular trees. Why I did that? Because without the wiring I wouldn't able to introduce the movement into the sections of the trunks and the branches which were growing from the trunks between the buds. Those internodes, in case I wouldn't apply the wiring process, would be straight. This is the problem of, for me, the only using clip and growth method. For example, you have a branch here, there was a one cut, 2 internodes, then again 2 cuts. Without the wiring, all these between this bud and this bud, these 2 centimeters of the branchlet is without the movement. So what I opted in some cases, especially here you can see that this internode without wiring would be straight piece of a trunk like here. But with using the wire, I was able to change the direction of the branch several times and directed it where I wanted. And also the future branches which are exiting this small branchlet will go in different direction, and it will give me much better possibilities to do the crowns of those trees in a way I would like to. Why people are afraid of wiring? Many times things like this will happen, that you leave the wire for way too long. This first wiring was done also on camera 2 years ago, and on this tree I removed it maybe too late, also on this one, and the wire bitten a little bit into the bark. The bark was grown into the wire. It's damaged, maybe in some cases forever, maybe in some cases the scar will heal. There are different opinions about this. It just sometimes happens. It happens to everybody who is doing bonsai, that sometimes you leave the wire for way too long. In case you are afraid and when to wire, how to wire, and what kind of gauge of the wire you have to use, I will tell you that I'm using a very simple trick from very beginning. That my approach to wiring is very opportunistic. I don't have many conifers which would normally go on exhibition with wires. So I'm wiring deciduous trees. Most of my trees are either maples or collected Yamadori trees. And on those trees you have to wire them to achieve the kind of design I would like to achieve. Maybe you are opting for different type of designs and you don't require wiring. In case you are not using the wiring in your design process of your bonsai, you are depriving yourself of a very powerful tool which will help you to achieve completely different designs as a clip and growth method. The main reason I'm using it, as I told you, that without the wire internodes on many trees like maples, Japanese maples or field maples, elms, ashes, dogwoods, the trees which I usually grow in my garden, they have, without using the wiring, the internodes are completely straight. Wiring is giving you the option to change the direction of this internode several times on very short distance. Clip and grove method is not giving you this opportunity. So why people are afraid of wiring? The one reason is that you are afraid that you are wiring in a wrong time. The second reason is that you are not sure what kind of wire you can use. You are afraid that you will not use the proper gauge of your wire. Maybe you are afraid that you damage the branches with the wiring. And this one of the possible fears is that you are afraid that you will miss the window of opportunity to remove the wire safely before it will bite into your bark. The key to overcoming those fears is to understand that the wiring is not so complicated process. It's very easy, it's very straightforward, and it's just a question of skill. You need to do it several times before you reach certain proficiency, which will teach you what kind of gauge of wire you can use, how you are able to fix the wire, anchor it to the trunk or to a second branch, how to properly apply the wire in a way that the wire will support the branch and it will be on the outside of the bend and will support the branch and will not allow the branch to break when you will manipulate the branch. Another thing is that you will basically have to learn yourself to check your wire tree many times, almost daily, especially in second part of growing season, when the tree is storing the energy generated by foliage and storing into the trunk and branches, and subsequently the branches are thickening. At that time you have to be really careful and remove the wire. Many times our people are asking how fast after applying the wire you have to remove it. In this video I was working on big Yamadori hornbeam, and it was done in March or beginning of April, and now it's beginning of July, and the wires from this tree are already down. After maybe 4 or 5 weeks, the massive growth of new Yamadori tree is causing the branches to thicken significantly, and I was forced to remove the wires, and the branches were already set up in the position which I wanted. So sometimes it's 4 weeks, sometimes on old conifers it's 2 years, 1 year, 2 years without the problem on the spruces. If we are speaking about maples or other deciduous trees, usually it's from few weeks to maximum 2-3 months, and then you have to remove. Of course, also difference is if the branch is at the top section of a crown or somewhere at the bottom. Usually the branches which are in lower part of your composition, they are not growing so much and they are not thickening so much, so wire can stay there longer. So check the wires very frequently, and when you see that it's time, remove them. The best way is to unwind them, and in case you are not able and you are afraid that you are going to damage the branch with unwinding process, then use the wire cutter and just cut it away on sections and remove it. One of the good methods to overcoming the fear of wiring is wiring a lot. So try to use some kind of seedling or cheap nursery material or sacrifice branches on your tree and wire them as a training, and try to make different anchoring points. You have a lot of this kind of very detailed information in different videos, in different books, where you have anchoring the wire on stronger branches or different part of the trunks and transition from one diameter of wire to different. Try to watch how really good bonsai artists are wiring. Watch it on demos, watch it on very detailed videos, and try it for yourself on very cheap material, on material which will not hurt you in case some branch is broken or some wire will bite in and will damage the bark. Especially in sacrifice branches, it's very safe, so you can train everything. And then in the next season, with more and more plants which will go through your hands with wiring, you will gain necessary proficiency and you will be much better. You will automatically choose the right gauge of wire. You will automatically know how to anchor the wire and to do all the necessary fixing and the transition from thicker wire to thinner wire and so on and so on. It will be much easier. Practice makes perfect, and when you will wire more trees, wire more plants, you will get better from tree to tree and you will be more proficient and you will improve incrementally, and wiring will become automatic part of your bonsai life. In some cases, like for example on this tree, I was using combination of wiring at the top of the crown and guy wire from one side and from another, and I was able to achieve this kind of bend. On very young plants, it's very possible that you are pulling with the guy wire on one side, with second wire on second side, and you can change the overall shape of your seedling or your future bonsai. For example, this tree I would like to pull more here, so I'm going to use this screw which is here and pull it a little bit here. This is the combination. Of course, the guy wiring, especially when combined with the rubber protection of the wire, it's much safer than wiring, and guy wires can stay on your tree much longer than normal wire. I learned this guy wiring from Walter Pall. You know that he is doing it quite a lot on his trees, especially on deciduous trees. I think it's very clever method to approach it, and if I want to pull this trunk, I can do it like this, fix it on a screw, or sometimes you can fix it on the wire which is going through the drainage holes in the base, and it's done. Combination of wiring and guy wiring is giving me the best opportunities to style the trees in a way I would like to have them. As I told you, I'm using opportunistic approach. I don't think that the wiring needs to be in some way beautiful. My wire trees are not going on exhibition. There is no international wiring committee visiting my bonsai garden every week and checking how nicely my wires are placed on the branches. I can understand many people are afraid of doing it, and they are afraid that especially when they post the pictures of the wire tree somewhere on social network and somebody say that the wiring is not good, it's not great, it's not proper. For me, the approach is opportunistic. Either the wire is doing the job or not. And when you do more and more wiring, you will be much better in placing the wire, in choosing the coils, and your wiring automatically starts to be more efficient, and it will be maybe even better looking in a long run. So don't be afraid that your wiring on the first time, on the 10th time, it's not perfect, it's not ideal. Even my first wiring, 10th wiring, wasn't ideal, it wasn't really nice, but I'm looking on my trees in my garden myself 99% of the time. So in majority of you, nobody's coming to examine your collection and is checking how nice your wiring is. So don't be afraid, do it. With every wiring session, you will become better and better, and your wiring skills will improve. So if you want to start wiring and you have never been wiring before, start with aluminum wire. It's much easier to work, and on deciduous trees and collected Yamadori deciduous trees, to the aluminum wire from 0.8 millimeters to 1.5 to 2.5, 3 millimeters is 90% of your job. Sometimes you need 3.5, 4 and bigger diameters, but for beginning, everything up to 3 millimeters is sufficient. The wire is not so expensive, and especially if you unwind the wire, you will have a lot of recycled wires which you will use for guy wires and for fixing the mesh during the repotting and so on and so on. So I think it's worth it to pay this maybe, I don't know, 15, 16, 17 euros for one coil of wire. Start from the thickest part of the plants and continue with thinner and thinner wires when you are approaching much thinner and thinner branches. In case you would like to avoid the mistakes, don't use very thin wire. In case you are in doubt and you don't know what kind of diameter of wire use little bit thicker wire than you think will do the job. Don't wire branches, especially very young branches, too tightly. Leave a little bit of space and check if the coil which you make will allow you to make the bend you are trying to achieve. Always wire in a way that the wire will support the branch on outside of the curve. In case I would like to bend this branch there, it's good that the wire is supporting the branch on the outside. And check your wired plant frequently. Remove the wire on time, but on the other hand, don't remove it too soon. Sometimes the wire needs to bite a little bit to hold the branch. Of course, you don't want to damage the gentle bark of a plant, especially the maples, but sometimes to achieve the necessary result, the wire needs to be there for. Try to avoid those mistakes. Don't use very thin wire on branches, because if you are using thin wire, it will not hold the branch and will not allow you to make the bend you are required to do. So check the diameter of your wire, and in certain cases it's much better to use a little bit thicker wire than you think. Don't remove the wire too early. Sometimes the branch needs more time than you think to settle, and of course you need to check, and if you want to prevent the wire from biting in, don't panic and don't remove the wire too soon before it fulfilled its role, because in that case you will remove the wire and then maybe after a few weeks or next season you will have to remake the wiring job, because the branch will not in a position which you required. As a conclusion, don't be afraid of wiring. Wiring will not destroy or damage your plant. In many cases, the wiring is absolutely essential tool for you to achieve your artistic vision with your plants, which is not possible to achieve with clip and growth with many species. Try to be proficient, wire a lot, train on cheap plants, train on nursery material or sacrifice branches, check your results. You will be much more proficient and your result will be much better from season to season. So now when you are ready to start your wiring, maybe write me in the comment section what is your experience with wiring, how you learn to wire. If you are afraid of doing the wiring, or you are missing confidence in choosing the proper wire, proper gauge of wire, what is your experience? If you are using the copper or aluminum wire, if you would like to learn more to be able to achieve much better result with wiring. So that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time.